Hi students, happy Friday. Can you believe we've made it through the first whole week of online learning? It has been so neat to be a part of and to watch how you've just jumped right in and taken to the online things. And I've heard some really good things. I've seen some really good things. And I want you to know how proud I am of you. I've gotten a few assignments so far submitted using Kami today, and it looks really good. I'm seeing some good work, and you seem to be understanding how to use the tools to the left. They are much like the tools that we use on the smart boards at school. You're just choosing your drawing tool and your color and solving. So bravo for you. I'm very excited. Please do let me know if you're having any difficulty and we'll address it as such. Well, today our goal is to use our change organizer to solve math problems about pets. And so remember, the change organizer uses a beginning, a middle, or the change, and an end. But in order for us to decide whether we're adding or subtracting, we are also going to throw in using that strip diagram, that part whole thinking to help us do some solving. Today I would love it if you could follow along using just a paper and a pencil. It's not required. If you want to just watch and listen and take it all in, that's fine. Usually our brains remember it better if not only we're hearing it and seeing it, but if we're also doing it, then it becomes harder for our brain to forget it. So that would be my wish, although it's not required. And I would love to see a video posted into Seesaw afterwards, just explaining to me something that you learned today about change problems. All right, here we go. So I want you to close your eyes and imagine the first problem, because remember, change problems have action, which means you can see somebody in the story getting more. You can see somebody in the story with something going away. That's what makes change problems unique. They are the only type of problem with action. Here we go. The pet shop owner had 14 hamsters. So I want you to imagine you're in PetSmart and you're looking, and guess what? They have a bunch of hamsters. We're not counting 14. They've just got some. She sold 8 of them. How many hamsters does she have left? So you should go back to that picture in your head of standing in front of the hamsters, and you should see the store owner reaching in and grabbing a hamster, maybe grabbing a few more. Some of the hamsters are going away. They are going home with people. So there's definitely action there. Let's go ahead and let's fill this out. So the story starts and it says the pet shop owner had 14 hamsters. So we're going to put 14 in the beginning. Now, did the hamsters change? I believe they did. Since they got sold, what kind of change is that? You would be correct if you said that is a subtracting change. And 8 is how many got sold. So just like the other day, our mystery number is at the end. We are looking for how many hamsters there were at the end. Now, before we decide whether we're adding or subtracting, let's think about the numbers in the story. The 14 hamsters at the beginning of the story, were those all of the hamsters in the story or part of the hamsters? Well, in the story, the pet shop did not get more hamsters, so I think the 14 at the beginning was all they had. And the 8 hamsters that got sold were part of the hamsters. And the hamsters that were left were also part of the 14 hamsters. And remember, boys and girls, the only time I add is when I'm looking for the whole. So this is definitely a subtraction story. And in this case, that matches. So we're going to start with a whole and we're going to subtract the part. We're going to use our touch points. When I subtract, I touch the first number, say its name, and count back on the other number. Here we go. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Since I landed on the 6, 6 is my answer. They had 6 hamsters left. All right, moving right along. You're doing great. I'm gonna do one more story just like this one. And then I'm going to change it up a bit because I don't know if I've told you or not, boys and girls. It's been a really long week. Mrs. Fuson can't remember all of the things she said. But I do want you to know that the mystery number will not always be at the end. In fact, in all of the change organizers that we solve, that mystery number can be in any part of the story. We could not know the beginning, we might be missing the middle, or we might be missing the end, as in the stories that we have been talking about the last couple of times. All right, so eyes closed, time to visualize. I know you might think it's a little silly, but remember, if you can't tell me about the story, if you can't see it in your mind, then that makes the story really difficult to solve. Here we go. The pet shop owner got 12 rabbits yesterday. A family came in and bought 2 of them. How many rabbits does the pet shop have now? Wow, in my head, I can see myself in the pet store and looking down in a pen and seeing a bunch of rabbits. And I can also see a family walking through the door, looking at the rabbits alongside, and picking 2 of those rabbits up and taking them home. So I don't still have 12 rabbits. A change definitely happened with the rabbits. So let's go ahead and fill out our organizer about the rabbit story. So in the beginning of the story, the pet shop owner got 12 rabbits. That's how many rabbits there were in the beginning. Now, when the family came in and bought 2 of the rabbits, what kind of change is that? If I'm buying them and taking them home, then that's definitely a subtract change because the rabbits are going away, and there were 2 of them. And the question wants to know how many rabbits were there after those were sold. So again, we're looking for the change at the end. The 12 rabbits in the beginning of the story, were those all of the rabbits or part of the rabbits? Well, in the story, they did not get more rabbits, so this is all they started with. And the 2 rabbits that got sold were part of these 12, and then the rabbits that were left are also part of the rabbits. The only time I add is when I'm looking for the whole, and I am not looking for my whole. So this is a subtract pattern. In fact, does still match. So here we go. We are going to start with the whole, and we are going to subtract the part. I'm going to use my touch points here. When I subtract, I touch the first number, say its name, and count back on the other number. Here we go, 12, 11, 10. So after the rabbits were sold, there were 10 rabbits left. Okay, boys and girls, I think you are ready for a little bit bigger challenge. I'm going to change the story up a bit. It's still going to be a change story. There's still going to be some action. We are still going to be making those pictures in our mind. But I'm going to move the mystery number to a different part of the story. I want to see if you can hear it. Are you ready? Here we go. There were 12 puppies in the pen. The pet shop owner sold some of the puppies. Now there are 7 puppies in the pen. How many puppies did she sell? Did you hear the change? Did you hear how the mystery number is now not at the end, but in a different part? So let's talk about the story. In my head, I could see 12 puppies in a pen, it said the pet shop owner sold some of them. So I can see people coming in and buying some of the puppies, although I don't know how many. And I can tell that now there aren't as many puppies left as what I started with. So let's start filling this out. In the beginning of the story, there were 12 puppies in the pen. But the pet shop owner sold some of them. And now remember, when we sell something, it goes away. And because I don't know how many were sold, now my mystery number is the change. I wonder how this will change our problem. Now there are 7 puppies left in the pen, so I know the ending now. What I didn't know was the change. Let's go ahead and put this on our organizer and figure out what we're going to do. So the 12 puppies at the beginning of the story, were those all of the puppies or part of the puppies? Well, since they did not get more, I'm going to say that these 12 puppies in the beginning, that's all the pet shop had. Now, the puppies that got sold, were those all of the puppies or part of the puppies? Well, those were part, because not all of them got sold. And the 7 puppies that were left are also part of the puppies, because they're still there. The only time I add is when I'm looking for the whole, but I'm not looking for the whole, which means I am subtracting again. Here we go. Let's do some subtracting. So we're going to take the whole and we're going to subtract the part to find out how many puppies were sold. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So 5 puppies were sold at the pet shop. So that was a very similar procedure. The only difference was we took that mystery number, and since the mystery number was still the part, we are still subtracting, right? Okay, let's do another one, kind of like that. Let's keep that mystery number in a different spot, shall we? All right, so we have the beginning, we have the change, and the ending, and the very important strip diagram. Okay, here we go. The pet shop owner had 6 lizards. Then she got some more lizards. Now the pet shop owner has 13 lizards. How many lizards did the pet shop owner get? Well, in my head, I saw in the pet store some lizards. And then I saw the shop owner putting more lizards in the tank because the story said she got more. So I could actually see the action of them getting more. And now I can see that there are more lizards than there were at the beginning of the story. And so the question wants to know, how many lizards did the pet shop owner get? So the shop owner, let's go ahead and fill this out, had 6 lizards in the beginning of the story. And she got some more lizards. Well, when I get some more, that's an add to change. But since I don't know how many I got, it's a mystery number. So our mystery number is still in the middle, but now it's an add to story, kind of like the stories we did the last time. And I know the ending, now she's got 13 lizards. So let's go through and put these into our strip diagram. We're about to find out why the strip diagram is so important. The 6 lizards at the beginning of the story, were those all of the lizards or part of the lizards? Well, since in the story we got more, the 6 lizards at the beginning were part. The lizards, the mystery number of lizards that they got, is that all the lizards they had or part of the lizards? Well, since I already had some lizards, this mystery number is also part. It's not the total amount that I've got. So then the 13 lizards at the end, when I put those 2 parts together, that is the total. The only time I add is when I'm looking for the whole. But wait, I'm not looking for the whole. I'm looking for a part. So it is a subtract pattern. I want you to pause the video and think about this question and talk about it with your parent. If I have an add to story, but the thing that I'm adding is the change, it's the unknown, why are we subtracting to find it? Go ahead and pause the video. All right, boys and girls, I hope that you took some time to talk at home about why we're subtracting in an add to story. And I will say to you that change problems are probably some of the toughest problems. They are the most missed problems because we learned in kindergarten and first grade that when you get some more, you add, and when you have things go away, you subtract. But because now you are older, we're making it a little tricky for you. Just because in a story somebody gets more does not mean we're adding. Remember, the only time you can add is when you're looking for the total. So even in this instance, because I'm adding, I already have the total. I'm in fact adding a part. And remember, when we're missing a part, it is always subtract. Remember, the only time I add is when I'm looking for the whole, and I've already got that there. So let's go ahead and subtract. I'm going to take my whole, I'm going to subtract the part that I know, and it's going to leave me with a mystery number. So 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Now I want to do a little test here. Let's pretend we put 7 in as this part. And let's just check to see if it's actually right. Do you think if I had 6 and I added 7 that I would get 13? Let's see. So let's take 6 and let's add the 7 and see if that's actually correct. So when I add, I touch the biggest number, which is 7, and I count up on the other number. Let's do it. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh my goodness. 13 is our total. We started with 6 lizards and we got 7 more in this case, which is our answer, and we ended up with our total that's 7, or 13 rather. Sorry, I was thinking about the answer. But we had to subtract to find that missing part, even though it was an add to story. Boys and girls, I can't wait to hear what you've learned today about the importance of using your strip diagram, about the importance of maybe making those pictures in your head and really using those organizers to help you think and solve your problems. This will be our last lesson for the week, which means you have a whole weekend to just relax and enjoy the sunshine. I hope you get out there and have a fun time, and I will see you Monday morning. Bye-bye.